Hello and welcome to this Bumpy Road homebrew tasting threesome comparison. So what I'm doing is I have my homebrew. I poured all these beers out now, so poured this out of the tap. This is my homebrew. Demon Child, which shooting for a red IPA, and I was drinking another red IPA, kind of some similar notes, and then I also had an amber, a hoppy amber ale, same thing, kind of similar notes. So I just wanted to put the three of them together. So we'll get back to. I'll kind of do this in the order I'm going with. So I have Harpoon Flannel Friday, which is a hoppy malty crisp amber ale, comes in at 5.7% ABV, 35 IBUs. That one I poured into the Litherman's Limited glass with the black on it. So you can see the color on this one. It's got a nice amber, dark amber color. Reddish hues and stuff coming through. Has a decent clarity. It's just some sweat on the glass, pretty much. Yeah, good clarity to it. The next one will be Sierra Nevada's Flipside Red IPA, which is going to be in the Treehouse glass over here. This one is 6.2% ABV. I don't think it mentions the IBUs on this, but once again, it's got nice amber red coloration to it. I think this one's coming off a little bit darker. It's got just a little bit more darkness to it. If we flip it around, see. So, all right, and then we got my Demon Child, which poured with a large head out of the keg, so that's why. Oh, so that's less in it, but it has, once again, kind of an amber coloration. This one's not coming through very clear. It does have a haze to it. It was super clear when I kegged it, so I don't know what's going on there, but anyways, they all had kind of white heads, small tight bubbles to them, and they're all fairly similar in color. So I'm going to go ahead I'll give them all a 6. For the appearance. I'm gonna do the 50-point inspection on each one of these. So, but I don't know. Mine's not really the best. It should have been clear. I'm gonna give mine a 5 on appearance. All right. So 6.65. Let's go in for the aromas. I'm gonna do all of them right down, and then I'll come back and talk about it. So. Right, so this one's interesting. First, the Flannel Friday, I was getting floral note, fruity, herbal, earthy, and there's like a hint of a malt note, doesn't really shine through. It's more, this one's definitely more hop forward on the Flannel Friday, less malt. Gave it an 8 out of 10 for the aromas. For the Flipside Red IPA from Sierra Nevada, it's getting kind of like an herbal spice note, kind of earthy. Might be a tad bit of a piney note in there. There is a malt that's coming through a bit more. It's more pronounced. So there's a little bit less of like the hop aromas in this, or they're a little bit less. I don't know. Maybe it's just missing that real floral and fruitiness from the Flannel one. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be as robust in the hop, but the malt is coming through a bit more. Kind of like a bready, biscuity type aroma. So I gave that one an 8 out of 10 as well. Just kind of flipped with the malt and hop. All right, for my homebrew, the Demon Child. This one, again, came off. I was picking up more of the malt. It's kind of a bready note. A little bit floral to like herbal earthiness. It smells really similar without like the piney note to the Flipside Red IPA. So far the Hoppy Amber is the one that is more hoppy, at least in the aromas. It seems they're different hop characters, but yeah, I gave this an 8 out of 10 as well for the aromas, because it does almost mimic the Flipside. So all right, let's go ahead in now for the tasting of each of these. Start once again with the Flannel Friday. Cheers. Okay, so let's go over these flavors. For the Flannel Friday, it's kind of yeah, it's starting off more with the malts and stuff. So it's getting kind of a bread to a biscuit type. There's some fruitiness, herbal, earthy, coming from the hops. Seem to have a higher side of light body and medium carbonation. Had kind of a balanced bitterness at the end. So it did have some bitterness to it. Just seemed to blend in a little bit better with the malts. So the flavor score, I gave the Flannel Friday was a 15 out of 19. Body on it, 5 out of 5. My overall for it was 7 out of 10. For the Flipside Red IPA from Sierra Nevada, kind of had, first thing I noticed was like an herbal, spicy note, kind of earthy. Was picking up on some hay or grassy type notes from the malt, I am assuming. And then as I drank it, I started noticing a bit of like the cat urine type flavor. Just very, very slight. So maybe it used to be a piney note, kind of coming off a little bit like cat urine. It had a medium body, a higher light side carbonation, and it did have a lingering bitterness afterwards. For the Demon Child, I was picking up first like kind of that hay grassy to like a bready type malt flavor. Coming off from the hops, it was just kind of earthy. Has a medium body, has a highlight side carbonation, and it has a building and lingering bitterness. And I just realized I never gave the flavor score or anything else for the Flipside, so that was I give that a 13 out of 19 for the flavors. Body 5 out of 5. My overall for the Flipside is a 6 out of 10. For the Demon Child, I gave an 11 out of 19 for the flavor. Body's a 5 out of 5, and my overall for it's like a 5 out of 10. Just seems average to me, but it kind of goes along with some of the same flavor notes, some of the same aroma notes as these other two. So hey, for homebrew, it's not too shabby, sticking up, you know, with at least close by some of these larger brewing companies. So the BuMpY scores for Harpoon's Flannel Friday gets a BuMpY 41 out of 50. It's going to land this at a good beer. Sierra Nevada's Flipside Red IPA gets a BuMpY 38 out of 50. It's going to land this at a good beer as well. And BuMpY Road Brewery's Demon Child Red IPA. It's going to get a BuMpY 35 out of 50. It's going to land this at an average beer. So, cheers guys, and thank you for watching. Oh, yeah, cheers. Maybe I should cuvee these. Alright, let's just make it extra long. Well, it definitely made my homebrew taste better. Cheers, guys. Once again, thank you for watching.